Hello everyone and welcome to my B&B 724 YouTube channel. Please hit the subscribe button and give this video thumbs up. With a freaking Ridge, is Brooke slow to pick things up? After Nick Maroney made a move on Brooke Logan last week on the CBS soap opera Bold and the Beautiful, she needed a little prodding to come up with her latest strategy with Ridge Forrester. Until Katie Logan sowed the seed for her sister, it appeared for a little moment that Brooke was unaware of what Nick had thrown in her lap. And on Bold and Beautiful, that seed sprouts the next week. Brave and gorgeous, Brooke Logan gets a head start. On Bold and the Beautiful, Brooke Logan was shocked to learn that she was the object of adoration for Nick Maroney, an old flame. Nick thought back to the time he spent with Brooke. He even gave Brooke a passionate kiss. This was necessary for the oldest Logan sister, who had been rejected by Ridge Forrester multiple times since he returned with Taylor Hayes. She felt rather hopeless and alone. But suddenly, in more ways than one, Nick delivered her the shock she needed. B&B, Brooke acknowledges Ridge Forrester's envy. Brooke Logan is once again feeling wanted on Bold and the Beautiful. Even though it's not from the man she desires, Nick's attention seemed to lift her spirits. Additionally, Nick offered her another gift. He provided her with enough ammunition to likely return Ridge Forrester. However, it wasn't until Katie Logan appeared that she realized this. Katie describes how Ridge entered the room and interrupted the mid-conversation as Brooke Logan recounts Nick's flirty visit. She added that Ridge appeared really upset about the sight he had discovered. Spoilers about Ridge Forrester and Brooke Logan in Bold and the Beautiful. When Brooke informs Katie that Ridge acted rudely towards Nick, Katie responds that it's probably due to jealousy. Then, as if she had never considered this before, it was as though a light bulb suddenly went off above Brooke's head. Thus, the matriarch of Logan started things out. Fans, however, were taken aback that Brooke was unable to solve this problem on her own. Brave and gorgeous, pursuing Ridge from two perspectives. Brooke quickly tests the limits of envy after her sister helped her piece things together last week on Bold and the Beautiful. Instead, Brooke goes to Taylor first rather than dangling bait over Ridge's head. During her visit to Taylor, she caused enough harm to push the renowned physician over the brink. Next week on Bold and the Beautiful, a frantic Taylor tries to sway Ridge Forrester by proposing marriage. Taylor appears to be aware that Ridge is envious of Brooke's friendship with Nick. Perhaps Taylor's marriage proposal is an attempt to prevent Ridge from returning to Brooke out of jealousy. To pop the question, Taylor chooses a romantic meal out. However, it appears that Nick turns into a major annoyance for Ridge as the episodes of Bold and the Beautiful progress. He first hears Taylor's suggestion. Nick then rushes back to Brooke to fill her in on everything. B&B, who will be freed by the truth? Towards the conclusion of the week, Ridge also tells Brooke the truth in B&B, albeit the specifics remain unclear. It is reasonable to infer that he informs Brooke that he would accept Taylor's proposal of marriage. However, Brooke might be able to win Ridge back if she can make him sufficiently envious. Perhaps, therefore, he is still her fate. On the CBS soap opera, Brooke Logan appears to take advantage of Nick's efforts to rekindle their romance in a number of ways the next week. This is what fans of B&B can anticipate. We have a preview of the July sweeps for you, according to spoilers for the Bold and the Beautiful. So let's chat about all the exciting drama that is in the works. To begin with, after Luna Nozawa flees, her danger may loom like a menacing cloud. Luna will, in fact, escape Will Spencer's seduction trap. This July, Luna might continue to be a concern for Steffy Forrester and John Finnegan as long as she is out there somewhere. The start date of Jacqueline MacInnes Wood's maternity leave is still unknown, but Steffy may eventually move the kids to Europe for their own safety. In any case, the future plot of Ridge Forrester can provide a hint as to what is ahead. In the end, Steffy's family should be alright, even if more Luna mayhem breaks out. If Steffy or the children were still in major peril, it's hard to imagine Ridge would go after Brooke Logan in Italy. In late July, Ridge will appear in special episodes of B&B that will focus on Naples and Capri. Nick Maroney will undoubtedly play a role in the Italian story as well. Nick will be going all out because we'll see him turn up the romanticism and even give Brooke a ring at one point. But Brooke is about to have an accident that will confirm to Ridge who he belongs with. During the excursion, Brooke will probably fall into a body of water, which will result in a rescue crisis. Ridge will get a wake-up call and realize that Brooke is the only woman for him, regardless of whether Nick saves her or Ridge takes the initiative. All Taylor Hayes has to do is figure out how to let go and continue on with her life. When it comes to going back to Los Angeles, Daphne Rose is probably going to give up. Carter Walton and Hope Logan are working to restore trust, but Daphne's return could destroy it. After some off-screen passion with Carter, many fans are wondering if Daphne is pregnant, so that's something to consider. Lastly, Liam Spencer's brain tumor will make his symptoms worse and might eventually drive him to tell Will, Wyatt, and Bill Spencer the truth. Finn, Steffi, and Hope have all been pressuring Liam to take on additional help. Given the next poignant sequences, it appears that Liam may eventually reveal his truth to his family. The Brave and the Lovely stay in for updates on all the hottest storylines, as spoilers indicate that July will offer some shocking moments and difficult news. Ridge's unraveling panic and Brooke Logan's startling disclosure. A 5,000-word exploration of Bold and the Beautiful's jealousy game in motion. Emotions flare up and romantic chess pieces move on the Bold and the Beautiful, with Brooke Logan once more caught in the middle of a triangle, or perhaps a tangled web, with Ridge Forrester and a comeback Nick Marone. An innocent exchange between ex-partners soon turns into a string of manipulations, emotional awakenings, and unintended outcomes. Long admired and despised for her love involvements, Brooke Logan finds herself at the center of upheaval once more. This time, though, the mayhem is oddly slow burning, as though Brooke isn't really understanding the treasure Nick has left at her feet until Katie Logan explains it clearly. After that, a spark ignites, and the game is on. Brooke Logan had been reeling from Ridge Forrester's repeated rejections in the week preceding this dramatic plot arc. Brooke's attempts to re-establish a connection with her so-called destiny have been consistently thwarted since Ridge and Taylor Hayes resumed their relationship. With Taylor, Ridge has insisted on setting limits, going for stability, and finding healing. But Ridge's notion of stability is as ephemeral as a Malibu sunset, as anybody who has seen Bold and the Beautiful knows. Enter Nick Marone, who lands a symbolic bombshell into Brooke's unchanging world, a flirty, nostalgic visit that ends with a daring, passionate kiss. Nick's return is more than just a sentimental gesture. It acts as a trigger. The mirror serves as a reminder to Brooke that she is still attractive and the woman who can entice men to plunge into our traverse oceans. Surprisingly, though, Brooke first appears unaware. She fails to completely appreciate the impact of that kiss and the possibility that Nick's gesture may have started something more serious, not only for Ridge but also for herself. That is, until Katie Logan shows up, hears the story of Ridge's cold response, and states unequivocally that Ridge was envious. Not a little annoyed. Not merely taken aback. Envious. The passive way that Brooke accepted Ridge's rejection abruptly changed to something far more proactive. The process begins, and the Brooke Logan that people are familiar with and adore, or despise, emerges. Brooke is forced back into her strategic mindset by Katie's remark, which is like a frigid slap across the face. Ridge's anger over Nick's presence wasn't an isolated incident. It was a sign, a point of pressure. Additionally, Brooke discovers, either too late or just in time, that Ridge's commitment to Taylor may be far less than he admits. The most unexpected aspect, though, is that Brooke wasn't the only one who came to this conclusion. The delay is shocking for someone who has spent decades in romantic wartime. As if loss and longing had blunted her instincts, fans raved online about Brooke's delayed absorption this time. Now, though, she is currently playing from two perspectives. Brooke chooses to attack with newfound self-assurance, but not by going after Ridge directly. No, Taylor is her first destination. Brooke pays Taylor Hayes a visit in an act of subtly sabotaging and passive violence. The way she speaks, with that distinctive Logan smugness that always makes Taylor doubt herself, is more significant than what she says. Like a master gardener, Brooke sows doubt, and those seeds grow into despair. Taylor Hayes, a well-known psychiatrist and purportedly grounded woman, abruptly abandons self-worth and caution to pop the question to Ridge Forrester during a romantic supper. However, Ridge's inner anguish is only getting started. Instead of dismissing it, it clings to him like smoke as he enters a scene that hurts, his ex-wife and her ex-lover laughing, remembering, kissing. When Taylor places her heart, along with a ring, on the table during their supper, he carries that uneasiness with him. A woman who notices that her hold on Ridge is slipping is using it as a power move. Taylor thinks that by taking the initiative, she can solidify her position in Ridge's life. But she wasn't prepared for Ridge's response. Despite being flattered, he is clearly conflicted, preoccupied, and plagued by the thought of Brooke with another guy. Nick isn't finished yet. Not even close. In a little of old-fashioned soap opera eavesdropping, he hears Taylor's proposition and immediately returns to Brooke with the information. To her, it sounds like music. Nick becoming her puppet and ally with each second that goes by. When he tells Brooke about Taylor's move, she grins instead of recoiling or displaying jealousy. She is aware that the storm is approaching and that she will avoid getting wet this time. It will be her doing it. Ridge's mind, however, is a battleground. By the end of the week, he tells Brooke the truth, however the spoilers don't specify what that reality is. It might have to do with Taylor's suggestion. It might have to do with his actual emotions. It might have to do with Brooke's lasting position in his heart. There's no denying that Ridge is losing it. Ridge has never been able to accept the possibility that Brooke may go on, really move on, with someone else. And he might be drawn back to her by that uneasiness. Amidst this triangle, even more dramatic occurrences are hinted at in July's future plot. The family of Steffi and Finn is threatened by Luna Nozawa, who is still at large following Will Spencer's seduction plot. Rumor has it that Steffi would take the kids to Europe in search of safety, perhaps during Jacqueline McInnes Wood's anticipated maternity leave. Ridge will then be able to accompany Brooke to Italy after leaving Los Angeles. The tension is rising in Italy. In Naples and Capri, Bold and Beautiful is preparing for a spectacular confrontation. Divided between loyalty and desire, Ridge is once more enmeshed in a maelstrom of feelings. Nick keeps showing interest in Brooke, even going so far as to give her a ring. He isn't having fun. Nick wants Brooke to return permanently. However, gravity and fate have different ideas. Brooke sustains injuries after falling into a body of water, as is customary in these dramatic sequences set abroad. It's unclear who will save her, Ridge or Nick, but that crisis moment serves as Ridge's epiphany. The fog clears in that moment when he realizes Brooke is in danger. Everything points to her, including the years, eras, and detours. Brooke had always been destined to be him. Taylor, meantime, is abandoned once more. Her emotional breakdown is unavoidable. She's the woman Ridge leaves behind again after putting everything on the line with a proposal. Depending on their stance, fans may feel vindicated, empathetic, or disappointed. But one thing is certain, Taylor's romance plot needs to change course. It remains to be seen if she finds love, healing, or retribution. Drama simmers for other characters elsewhere, with admirers thinking that she might be pregnant following a secret night of passion with Carter Walton. Daphne Rose may give up and head back to Los Angeles. The fragile truce between Carter and Hope Logan, who are attempting to regain trust, could be ruined if that bombshell turns out to be accurate. Just that plotline has the potential to degenerate into moral quandaries and emotional betrayals. And Liam Spencer comes next. The plot of his brain tumor is getting out of control. His closest friends and family, Hope, Steffi, and Finn, encourage him to get help when his symptoms intensify. Liam will eventually have to tell Will, Wyatt, and Bill about himself. There will be poignant sequences, and the effects may affect all of the families involved. The lady who, in spite of everything, has rekindled the love triangle that characterizes the bold and the beautiful, Brooke Logan, is at the center of it all. Brooke's development in July is nothing short of a masterclass in soap opera tactics, from being slow to pick things up to deftly manipulating emotions. Brooke has all the cards, with Taylor collapsing under strain, Ridge pursuing her shadow, and Nick by her side. And Brooke might finally demonstrate that she is Ridge's destiny, and possibly always has been, in Italy, where passions are hot and the stakes are raised with each wave slamming down the rocks. Regaining Ridge is no longer the goal of the game. She needs to remind herself and everyone else that she is Brooke Logan, the queen of passion, heartbreak, tenacity, and triumph. One thing is certain. Brooke is back, and this time, she's not missing a single cue. This is true whether she comes out of the Italian adventure with a ring, a rival's tears, or a revelation that will change her life.